Hello everyone, welcome back. Now listen, you might be hearing some noise going on, and that's because it's kind of just slowly drizzling, and this is a metal roof. So, you know, it's a win-win, you know. So today we're going to be doing something quite special. I'm just gonna kind of cut that short right here. So go ahead and enjoy this video. It's gonna be a very fun one, very interesting. So thank you guys for watching. We're gonna go ahead and start with what we're trying to do. So the goal of today is going to be designing a bead profile for myself. And the reason I say designing is because in the EDC / bead industry, there are people that have kind of said, this is my bead style, you know, and you really don't want to copy it because, you know, I mean, it's kind of a respect thing almost. And while my feelings about copying people's designs are, you know, mixed, I still don't really want to do it. So that is why I'm going to be trying to design my own style. It's probably going to look very similar, but I don't really want it to be the same. So before we get into anything else, we're going to design a few shapes here, and I'll show you kind of the similarities between some of them, and yeah, we'll have some fun with it. So right here you see I have 3 different bead edge designs drawn out, and my drawing skills are subpar to say the least. So bear with me here. And I only chose 3 of the whatever million bead makers there are, and mainly because I personally know these 3. So right here we have GreedyEDC. This, I'll have all their links inside the description. So this bead design is actually, it's a pretty cool bead design. And he has 3 sizes. So this one right here is the biggest one, and it has kind of like a flat and then like a V, and then it has a very steep V that just goes into a flat, and then same thing on the other side. I really like this. It looks really sharp and clean. And then right here, this is IPACreations. So this one right here is a little bit more of a simplistic design. Now I also like this one because I'm a sucker for simpleness and letting the material do the talking. So I really like this one. It's just a simple 2V cut. It's very easy, very repeatable. It looks very clean. Although it's simple, it still is not simple. So then right here we have GokrKnot, and it's kind of sort of the same as this one, but not really. Like I'm kind of pushing it by calling it the same because it's not really. And the reason being is because it does start off kind of with the same pattern, but there are a lot of things that are different. So this one right here, it goes flat for a little longer, and then it has a very steep, almost just flat punt, like almost like a flat cut. And then it goes into 2 U-shaped divots, and then the same thing on the other side. There is something very different. This bead right here is a very sharp bead. It's a lot sharper in the curves, and this one's a lot softer looking. Very cool design. I actually have one of these, and I like it a lot. It looks very nice. All 3 of these designs are awesome, and I really like all of them. But like I said, I kind of want to create my own kind of thing. So we have to do some drawing. So really quickly, here's a first idea that I've come up with, and it's kind of a very simple pattern, but it starts with a nice flat and then a V, and then in the middle you get to a nice straight punch, and then you get to another V. Very simple. I personally haven't seen it. I'm sure it's been done, but yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and do a mock-up of this, actually in metal, probably aluminum if I have the right diameter. We might have to do Delrin, so we'll see how it looks. I kind of sort of cut the camera off because things were starting to go downhill. I'll show you guys in a minute, but what I'm kind of looking at now is I like the way it looks. I think it's cool. I think it's simple. But the things I want to change are I need to figure out how to get the markings proper, and I also need to figure out how to cut this center slot in without making it look horrible, because I don't think my high speed is going to be able to cut metal very well. And I think it needs to be slimmed down the slightest bit, the diameter. I like the length. I think I do. I like the length. I just feel like it's missing something. I hope that's going to help you kind of visualize what I'm going for. It's kind of difficult to see, but once it's kind of in this form, it's better. I think also what I might need to do is widen out the grooved portions a little bit more, but we'll see. I want to show you guys what I'm going to be using to make the final product, and this right here is zirconium titanium Damascus. So this has zirconium and titanium, and it is made in a similar way that Damascus is made. So for those of you who don't know, Damascus is layered steel of different grades. Then they heat it up and smash it together and then do different crazy things to it to get different patterns. So this stuff is the same thing, except for they use titanium and they use zirconium. And then they go and they cut it up a bunch, then they heat it up and they smash it together and then twist it. Today we're just going to use this regular bar of zirconium titanium Damascus, and the diameter of this rod is actually a little smaller than the actual diameter of the bead that we just did. So I think that's going to solve my problem on diameter. And the next thing we're going to have to do is figure out how to stuff machines. I've never machined this stuff before, so let's take it over to the lathe. So I decided to turn it off, and it helped a lot on my end, not on your end. So I have the bead here, and I really like it. I think it's a good start. Obviously, this is an expensive start, but hey, you gotta start somewhere. So I made the diameter a little smaller, and then after that I chamfered the insides of the holes here very, very, very largely. And then I went and I chamfered the two edges, and then all the tiny little edges in there to where they're all burr free. So now all I have to do is sand the entire thing a lot. I just spent a very long time sanding and polishing this, and we're looking pretty good. So since it's going to annoyingly and very slowly rain for the rest of the day, we're just going to go ahead and do this. Anyway, so I went and I cleaned it up. It's all nice and clean now and pretty good looking. So now from here, we're gonna do the finishing touches, and the end result is gonna end up hopefully looking like how I have it in my head and how I've seen. Hello there. So right now we're actually waiting on some oxygen because my torch right now is completely empty on oxygen. We have acetylene but no oxygen, and my propane torch is completely dead. So we can't really heat anodize this bead until we get oxygen, and they are not open till tomorrow. So yeah, we're kind of stuck. But luckily for you guys and editing, you guys are just going to see the next clip of me holding the gas can probably and saying, I got the gas. I got the gas. Ignore that. Ignore. So, picked up a new tank of gas. This is just a really small tank, but I can only fit so much underneath the table. So the next step is going to be hooking up the gauge to it and getting it all nice and set back under there, and then trying to make sure my torch still works. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this soapy water here, turn this tank on. There we go. So now, before we turn the regulator on, we're just going to take this paper towel here that I just dropped in completely and get it all nice and soapy. I don't see any leaks. I think we're all good. So, I have no idea where I am on the camera here. I've already gone ahead and set the gauges to the right whatever and purged the lines. So we're going to go ahead and there we go. So you want to get that thing going. Then you just want to slowly feed in the oxygen. I had too much acetylene running through it. That's about where you want it. Depends on what kind of flame you're looking for. This is probably a good regular. I don't really know what they're called. I think it's like a good neutral. Yeah, that's what it looks like to light a little mini oxyacetylene torch. It's incredibly hot, very, very, very hot, and it can like melt legit steel. So, but yeah, we're looking good. I haven't seen this torch lit in a very long time. Now you just gotta feather that back and that. I decided to clean it and make a little stand for it completely without showing you. So what I came up with was a little fire brick with two titanium, very small titanium little bars with a little groove to make sure they don't roll around. So they don't roll around. And they're close enough together where the bead will sit right on there and it'll be good. So we have it all ready and all set up. The bead is clean. I put in alcohol so that way the alcohol would evaporate and it wouldn't leave spots, hopefully. And then we also have a tray here just to help make it, nice and movable. And then I have two extra fire bricks just in case. I might set those in here so that way the heat doesn't go through. So yeah, let's get to it. The only thing we've left to do is to start the torch up and then just kind of lightly feather the flame, and I'll probably set up like a nice little time lapse or something to where it'll look nice. We'll see. So 3 attempts later, I nailed it. and it's not exactly what I was going for, but I like it a lot and it looks clean. So I'm gonna take it, and I will hopefully be showing you guys some beauty shots at the end of the video. So if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll go ahead and respond. I always respond to every one of them. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That would really be helpful. And leave a like on the video. And thank you guys for watching.